G'day everybody, and welcome back. If you're watching this one, we're going to have a look at the Natchez Trace Parkway, which is a road that travels all the way from Natchez up to Nashville in Tennessee, or the other way around, depending whether you're going south or going north. We had no idea what the Natchez Trace Trail was. We did know that we were heading out of New Orleans and we needed to go north. And this all happened at the same time as some friends of ours who were heading out of Texas and having to come east and then head up north also. So if you have a look at the map here, you get a bit of an idea on how the Natchez Trace Trail flows. But for the rest of this vid, I'll show you what it's all about. So in the first instance, we met up with our friends very early in the Natchez Trace Parkway, not far from Natchez itself, which is really cool. And then we made our way to the first campground, which is the Rocky Springs campground. These campgrounds are free. If you are doing Natchez Trace, it's a matter of first and first served to get into the campgrounds. And for us, in very much the same way as it had been for a large part of our journey, we were lucky enough that the season was just a little bit early, which means that the campgrounds aren't too busy. And as a result, we didn't have any trouble in getting in. Martin is now going all the way back to Quebec. Yes. And we're following that. So our newfound friends that we had met in Carolina, I think from memory, and then met again in Florida, turned out to be going back to their home back in Canada. They needed to get back up north. So it was really cool to join up with somebody else for a change rather than riding the journey alone. It was also cool to see Cindy take the wheel and for me to sit in the passenger seat. And we call this one Cindy Does the Natchez Trail.
Yep, it's pretty nice.
It's alright. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
About 50 mile an hour.
We're heading to another campsite, the second one. There's 3 campsites on the Natchez.
Jeff Bushby.
Jeff Bushby. And we just hope there's actually a campsite there, otherwise we're going to be sleeping on the side of the road. When you're RVing around a place like America, weather is pretty important. And the more we RV, the more we realise just how important it was. RVs do not appreciate being in sub-freezing temperatures. So we made a very serious effort to try and stay above freezing. And for the entire time that we'd been travelling down the east coast and then of course got to Florida, we had not once struck freezing. The tides were now turned because we were now heading north. And naturally heading north in America means that you are heading back up into the colder weather again. However, America was now working its way out of winter and back into spring. It was interesting to see the trees, the surroundings, the geography, and the landscape as how much it changed the further we moved north. It was also sad to see the end of our newfound friends as we waved goodbye for the last time. part of the world is certainly not without its colourful characters and startling personalities. And this fine gentleman that we met at the campsite, Robert Lee, was certainly none the different.
V-O-R-L-E-S.
V-O-Y-L-E-S.
Oh, V-O-Y-L-E-S.
Yeah.
So we're here today with Robert E. Lee, and Robert E. Lee is the Mississippi redneck.
Yeah.
Well known in the area and probably from afar, really.
And
Yeah.
Rob's been good enough to come and say hi,
Yeah.
introduce himself, and tell us a bit about what he's doing.
Yeah, I travel around and just disabled and camp as much as I can, and I like to meet nice people like y'all and people from Canada and old America and the foreign countries, but I love everybody. And I try to get along with everybody.
Yeah, Rob's a cracking good bloke, and he's been all the way up to Alaska. And how far south, Rob?
Yeah, I go to Alaska and Canada and Florida Keys. I go out on Keys in Florida.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
But I'm about to quit it because it got so expensive in South Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Expensive,
Oh.
yeah. Is it,
Yeah.
is it,
Oh,
is it
expensive. So,
expensive on the Florida Keys, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Oh,
cracking good. All right. Oh, Rob, thanks for your time, mate. We really appreciate it. Rob's going to be here for a couple more days. We're going to leave tomorrow.
Yeah, which way y'all going when you leave here?
We're making our way up to Nashville.
All right, stop off at Meriwether Lewis.
Yes.
Yep,
Now
okay.
you got a daycare up the Parkway here. You got to go get off and go through a little town high. You can pick up 72 East.
Uh-huh.
And you go up to a little town of Cherokee, Alabama. They got signs up, brings you right back to the trace.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if you get up in Nashville, I was up there about a month ago, and go by and visit Porter Wagner's grave, Johnny Cash, and all them. And besides, so you can run the trace almost to Nashville.
Sure.
It ends at 100 up there,
Yeah.
and it's just a short piece downtown Nashville.
Wow.
It's beautiful. You stop off at Meriwether Lewis.
We really enjoyed these more remote parts of America. There was some beautiful people out there with some really big hearts, and they seemed to go right out of the way to make sure that we were having a great time. As we made our way towards the third campground on the Natchez Trace, which is in Meriwether, we came across a town by the name of Tupelo. And Tupelo, unbeknown to us, was the birthplace of Elvis Presley, so naturally we needed to call him. So, I don't know about you, but if I was going to see some memorabilia on Elvis Presley, I'd be inclined to think Graceland. But, of course, he was born somewhere. And we just happen to be right here at Elvis's birthplace, where he was born, and I believe his house is here as well.
And East Tupelo,
East Tupelo.
just off the Natchez Trace Parkway.
Yeah, only 10 minutes off the trail we were driving coming down from Mississippi. This should be really good. Wanted a couple of things for his birthday. One was a rifle, the other one was a push bike, and his mother was scared that he was going to get hurt, so didn't buy him either. But a local store owner said to his mum maybe he might like a guitar, and they paid $7.90 for that guitar, and that was the start of his musical talent, I guess. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Go the guitar. Woo!
next campsite on the Natchez Trail was Merriweather. First in, first served, and once again not overly busy, so we managed to get in there okay. I'm going to call this one Cindy Saves Dog. We have a very, very hungry dog over here. Interestingly, this part of the world seemed to have a lot of stray dogs. Not exactly sure why this has come about, but there was a few.
The Tennessee River. It's law on the Natchez Trace that cyclists have right of way and you have to pass them. But we're on double yellow lines, so what speed are we doing, honey?
Well, they're doing alright, because they're on the downhill at least. So they're doing about 18 mile an hour. No, 18 kilometres an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
Bloody cyclists.
And I guess this beckons the question, what is the Natchez Trace? And how did it come about? And as it turns out, there is a lot of history in the Natchez Trace. For a large amount of time in America's history, this had become a major trading route between the eastern states and the southern frontier. This one's Merriweather Lewis Campground in Tennessee. Drove about 3 hours to get to the spot from the last campground, and not a bad little place. Looks like spring is still ready to come here though, unlike probably about 3 hours heading south from here. The Natchez Trace for a long period of time was the only reliable land link between the eastern United States and the trading ports along the Mississippi River in Mississippi and Louisiana. The Natchez Trace has some amazing history and can be easily researched on Wikipedia. This history dates right back to the dinosaur era, used by the Native Americans as a thoroughfare, not to mention the troops during the Civil War. For us, it is a beautiful piece of road which is very easy to travel on with an RV, and to add, no commercial traffic can drive this road, making it even better. The final accommodation was at yet another harvest host, South 40, and
Next stop, Nashville.